We'll start it. So give me the theme music. Do you remember how it goes? No? You don't listen to the show ever?
No.
It goes Brad, Reed, and Cameo.
Oh.
They are here to do a show.
1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm going to put music under that. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So welcome to Nerds to Men. I am Brad Reed. This is Cameo.
Yeah, what's up?
Nugget was in for you like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
We did a show talking about our favorite Rob Zombie films, which we didn't have you on because you haven't seen any of them.
No.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Thank you.
The what is it? The one that you just saw of Rob
Three
Zombie.
from Hell.
Yes. That's on sale at Walmart right now, and I'm pretty sure Target as well.
Yeah. You can get it online. Watch the on Amazon.
What?
Well, I'm sure you can. Chris says, "Sweet Thunder shirt." Thanks. I got this. I was on a remote at one of those sports places up north in Edmond. I can't think of what it was called though, and
like Academy or something.
It was like an Academy, but they had this shirt on sale, and I was like, "Ooh, Cameo, watch your mouth." Something like that. I can't remember. I'm not even sure. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just scratching.
Whatever.
Yeah, but
I am.
Ew. Yeah. But I was on the remote there, and I saw it. I was like, oh, look at those flashy colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to have it. But thank you. Thanks for the. I went to the game today. It was a blowout.
Man,
crazy stuff.
When you told me that you were heading home, I was like, dang, like game's not even over yet.
Well, I went.
But I hadn't checked the score.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. So I checked the score. I was like, oh, wait. I was made sure I had to do a double take because I saw. I think it was like. I think it was like 67 to like 110. Right. And I was like, wait, crazy. What?
They were up by like 30 points at halftime, and that's when we were like, yeah, you know what? We got other things to do today.
Right.
So yeah. He said, get
that nose gold.
Yeah. I wasn't though. Were you?
Yep.
Were you going full?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's gross.
Full pick.
You ever got caught picking your nose?
Yeah, and I still pick it. I don't care. I'm a grown man. I do what I want.
Gross.
Hey, I wash my hands.
Do you?
Sometimes.
I don't know. Is that the point, though, or is it the stuff you're bringing out of your nose that people consider to be nasty?
It's probably what's in it. But the thing is, it's no different than what they have in their nose. Because I'm just breathing in what they're breathing in.
But they probably use a napkin or something.
There's no difference. Like, hey, I'm getting more out with my finger than a napkin. Science.
That's not a good thing to be telling these kids that are watching and listening.
Pick your nose, people. It's okay.
No. Well, I mean, you know what? Whatever. I'm sure everybody picks their nose like in the private. I mean, are we talking about the privacy of your own home or like out in public?
I do it in my car and at home. I sometimes when I'm out in public, it's more of I'm on a mission to go do something, so I'm not really thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So it's like a subconscious type deal where when I'm in my car, it's already like nose is already full pick.
You know, I'm proud of you for admitting that you do. I'm not going to. I will tell you, when I was young, though, I was.
Chris, little person, said, "As long as you don't eat it, you're good."
Yeah. That's also better not to eat it for sure, but. I was like, I know it was in the 7th grade. I was on the football team, right? And I was like, man, I'm going to go to this game tonight. I'm hoping to see this girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was one of the cheerleaders. Because me and her had like a little moment or something, where I was like, I kind of got that vibe or whatever. So we're on the way to the game, and I'm probably nervous as well. But I'm like, I was picking my nose, right? In the back seat of the car, right? Look up. She's right beside me in the other car. I was like, oh, it's over. There was no more moment after that. So don't pick your nose, kids. Please don't.
Hey.
Because the girls aren't going to dig it.
Hey, I have a hot wife.
Or the guys or whomever you're trying to impress.
I have a hot wife. So
you do?
And she sees me pick my nose, so.
Does she?
Yeah.
Well, your wives, I'm sure my wife has seen me do things that I didn't necessarily want her to see, but she's seen.
So get you a girl or a guy that doesn't mind you picking your nose.
I mean, are there people that don't mind? So what if your girl was picking her nose? Would you be like, okay, that's sexy?
I mean, if you got a booger in there, get it out.
Let's move on. That was like a whole 5 minutes about picking your nose.
Hey, it's science.
No, it's not. I mean, there's some science to it, I guess.
Yeah,
but
tons
not
of it.
This is terrible. I don't know how to rewind.
Should we start over?
Yeah, except for we're live on Facebook Live. This will all be cut out of the edited show.
No,
I'll
this
leave
is
it.
gold, baby. That
Well,
we pick.
No, it's not. Just Chris says that's marriage, baby.
Yeah,
You're
it
right.
is.
You're right.
Whoop whoop.
But still, I'm not trying to be picking my nose, especially on a podcast
Oh, well.
on Facebook Live. So if you really did, I'll blur it out later.
Okay. Anytime I put my hand close to my face, just blur it out.
Yeah. Gross. All right. Let's talk about Watchmen before we
Okay.
get started on our nerd upfake.
I will say Regina King is amazing. I
Oh.
would have never thought her as a action star person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of a lot of, she's been in so many movies that I can't even pin down one. Name me some of hers real quick.
The First Friday. She
Yeah.
was Craig's sister.
Is she from Oklahoma?
I don't think so.
No. Who is from Oklahoma?
Tisha Campbell from Martin.
She is?
Yep. I don't know what part of Oklahoma, but
I
I know
love
she's
her.
from Oklahoma.
But what about Viola Davis?
Ooh, I don't know.
I thought she was had some Oklahoma ties or something, but not Regina King. Another person though who's on that show,
Jeremy Irons?
No, he's got the silver mask.
Oh, yeah. He was
He's been in like all the Coen Brothers movies.
he was in
and-
the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton.
Yeah. What's his name? I gotta pull him up because he Tim Blake Nelson. He is from Oklahoma.
Oh, he is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast where he was the guest probably a couple months ago, and he was on the Mark Maron podcast, and he's from somewhere in Oklahoma, maybe like up by Tulsa, or I'm looking it up right now. Yep, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I wonder if he knows Bill Hader.
Well, I'm sure by now he knows Bill Hader.
I mean, I know they're like two different ages, right?
I don't think that he lived in Tulsa like for a long time. I think he was born there. But the reason that I thought, it's kind of neat that he's tied in that way is because it's obviously set in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And so let's just discuss real quick the opening scene, because it begins with, I don't even know what you call it, a race riot.
Yeah.
An attempted genocide up in Tulsa.
Yeah. If just to give a little backstory, I'm not, too privy on the whole deal. I just know bits and pieces of it. But basically, the Tulsa race riots was probably one of the biggest massacres. That was centralized in one small city. And Tulsa at this part or this neighborhood in Tulsa was basically like I kind of liken it to a Wakanda because it was nothing.
It was thriving.
Yeah, it was a thriving black community.
Yeah,
and they called it the Black Wall Street.
Right.
So with that being said, white supremacy groups came in, bombing them, airplanes.
Yeah,
and,
right. Yeah, it was nuts. And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say was, okay, so you've seen the Watchmen movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, have you read the book? The book's there's some differences, of course.
Okay.
But the whole thing about like the timelines being different and stuff. So somebody might think, "Oh, okay, the plane bombing them, that's just, some kind of added thing that they put in." No. That was real. Like one of those people went and grabbed their planes and dropped some kind of homemade bombs or Molotov cocktails or whatever onto these people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. And then tell me this. I'm just curious. Growing up in Oklahoma my whole life, I don't think I heard about any of this till later. And especially like the whole story. Like it was much later. I don't think I heard about this. Like, I don't think it was taught in high school. I cannot remember. Maybe somebody who watches that went to high school with me could say, "Oh no, Mr. Usselton or somebody told us about this." I don't remember it. What about you?
The crazy thing is I never knew like the whole story about it until I read up on it what was it? Last week when I watched the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
like even in Oklahoma history, that wasn't talked about.
No.
Which is kind of which is upsetting because it was a we talked about the Native American part of the Oklahoma history.
Right.
But the basically the Tulsa race riots were was a big part of Oklahoma history.
Right.
And it was never talked about. I knew about it in 5th grade because my 5th grade teacher basically was telling us, we were learning about Abraham Lincoln and all this stuff and slavery, and because going into 5th grade, I was thinking that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves.
Right.
But there was a catch to being freed. You had to fight for your freedom. Not that you signed a paper and you're free to go.
Right.
You had to fight for it. So if you died, I mean, you didn't get your freedom.
Right.
So so I kind of learned a little bit about it from her, but as a 5th grade kid, you can't dive into something that deep. But yeah, anyways, it was I didn't know much about it until I watched the episode.
Chris says they were looking for some of the mass graves from that time last week. Yeah, like there's ongoing, like this is, I don't know if, maybe they said because there's been a little bit more of a light being shined upon what happened and, actual people wanting to know the truth behind what happened and, all that, where before I think people have covered it up. Or didn't look for the truth. So maybe they were inspired by that to put that in the show. I'd like to know more about that. And he says they briefly talked about it in his school, but very briefly. And Chris, I was curious also if you went to school in Oklahoma or where. So
yeah, Melvin says don't call it a race riot. That's the language of the oppressor. It was a massacre. Yeah, and they also called it the Black Wall Street Massacre too.
Right, and that's why I was saying earlier maybe race riot isn't the appropriate word. Maybe it was a genocide attempt. You know?
I mean, it basically was. I mean, ever since that happened, I mean, nothing was the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was an amazing thing that they put in this Watchmen show that I just honestly I didn't expect it at all. So when it started, I was like, wow.
Let me keep talking. I think I still have that story up on my.
Which story are you looking for?
Why they put it in Tulsa.
Oh, the whole show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that kind of ties into that I think is interesting because you did have the race riots. You even had the police officer who shot somebody a few years ago up in Tulsa, and then I think that person was on trial and all that. Okay. Chris says Hera High School. So here in Oklahoma, yeah. I mean, listen, when they talked history when I was in high school, there was a good chance I was stoned or asleep. So I'm not going to lie to you. I could have missed it, but it just seems like that would have been something that would have been more memorable had I learned about it then.
So Damon Lindelof, who is part of the Watchmen director of it,
he
right?
did he was like Lost, one of the producers or creators of Lost and many different shows.
So this is what he said to Tulsa World. It seems like everything always takes place in one of two places, and I wanted to ground Watchmen and make it feel real because I've always thought Watchmen was about America. So I had it in mind to pick a more non-traditional place to set the show, and I was thinking, how would that look? And then he goes on to say, when I first heard about the massacre of Black Wall Street in Tulsa of 1921, I couldn't believe that I was a grown adult and I never heard about it before.
Yeah, a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people.
And,
and people that grew up in Oklahoma and people who didn't.
Yeah, and he said the more I researched it, the more I was just shocked and embarrassed that I didn't know anything. At the same time, as sort of like, well, I'm in a position now to potentially put this in a piece of popular entertainment and inform people about this actual historical event, but I can't be exploitive about it. It needs to be important.
Yeah,
and the way they went about it so far, I mean, we'll see what happens in episode 2 tonight. But I mean, there was nothing that was exploitive about it.
Yeah, that's
what I caught.
That's why I said I thought it was a great, amazing thing that they put it in there.
Yeah,
and probably because like he's saying, he thought that would get that story out to a whole bigger audience and of people, and so that more people would know about it.
And right now, and this is like so timely with all the things that are going on right now, where we are having, cops, white cops killing black people. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing this right now. Mm-hmm. And it kind of, if you watch the first episode, if you didn't, just cut it off right now. Even though this part, what I'm about to say, isn't that much important, but we have a white supremacist person that you don't know anything about yet kill a black cop. So kind of like the roles were reversed. Right. But, the racism was still there.
Right, yeah. And it's just an interesting microcosm because it's Tulsa. Yeah. And Tulsa itself, just in real life, is like kind of like a liberal kind of leaning city. Mm-hmm. Most people think, or that maybe I'm speaking crazy here, but I've always interpreted it as being that way. But then there's a lot of country around around all of Oklahoma. Melvin said Vox did a mini doc on searching for the Tulsa Massacre graves. I think you can search for it on their Facebook page. Chris said, hey, I was high too, but I love history. That reminds me of the comedian Chris Porter. He said he was a history buff in that he had a bong in the History Channel. So Stephanie Johnson says, I didn't hear about it until I moved to Tulsa. It wasn't in Choctaw's Oklahoma history, which Choctaw is where I went. So, and like I say, I'm not going to point fingers and say that they definitely didn't, but I don't remember it at all.
I could tell you for a fact I didn't learn anything about about this. Yeah.
So that's probably like the biggest splash that I thought the show made as far as what people were talking about was that
the show is amazing.
You mentioned Regina King.
Also got to say, poor cows. Poor cows.
Regina King, I thought her character was great. Yeah. From where she started in the show and then what ended up happening. We said we're going to spoil. So, I mean, I thought she was pretty awesome as a character. Because I was wondering, like, is this Watchmen going to be any good? Because I knew it wasn't going to be about the comic book necessarily, like, with the things we saw in the comic book and the movies, but it's a continuation of that universe.
Yeah, also, too, I didn't even think... I thought this was going to be an origin story for her. Mm-hmm. And it might be. It still might be, but I thought, we're going to,
I kind of like how it just jumped right into it, though, and the fact that she's been doing this a little while. And so, basically, the Watchmen, and especially in this show, they're not so much superheroes as they are vigilantes. Yeah. Some of them are good vigilantes, and some of them are not so good. Right. And that was kind of the thing about the Watchmen was you had people that, like the comedian who was supposed to be a good guy, but he wasn't. Right. You had Rorschach, who's supposed to be a good guy, but he's really kind of a sadistic, crazy person. Yeah. There was a scene in the Addams Family movie. I mentioned I went and saw that earlier, where Wednesday quotes Rorschach, and it was pretty funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But so anyway, so they continue that. I feel like in this new version of the Watchmen, where obviously though, when you have white supremacists and all that, they're the bad guys. Obviously, yeah. And then you have the police officers who are wearing the masks, and the whole thing on Watchmen, which you can see on my tattoo.
Oh yeah.
I
never realized that you had that.
A Rorschach, yeah. Yeah. But it says who watches the Watchmen. And so, like in real life, people are asking, who watches the police? Who keeps the police in line when they do these things? Yeah. And it's the same kind of relationship in this show. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of cool. I did think though. So these people who are like, again, Rorschach was never like really a good guy, but he was trying to get rid of evil people. Yeah. But he didn't have like the line that like Batman has, which is you don't kill people or whatever. Yeah. No, he wants to hurt you, throw you down some, an elevator shaft, whatever. He doesn't care. And so I thought it was interesting how in this show they've kind of like how in Gotham they had the people who were taking over the Joker, as like a group, as a movement.
Mm-hmm.
They've done this with Rorschach, which I thought was a cool way of keeping his spirit alive until I found out that those are like, ugh.
Right.
I don't think he would have appreciated that.
No.
Right? So,
at least we think.
Then you have Tim Blake Nelson, who has the silver mask.
Mm-hmm.
But like while they're in that scene where they've got the videos around him and it's projecting onto his mask, so it gives you that Rorschach vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the Rorschach now.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
I thought that was a really cool way of doing it differently, than his mask, which moves.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too because the ink blot test, is almost the same as the subliminal messages that are kind of bouncing off of his mask.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because how he was like, I forgot how he said it, but basically he was like, this guy knows where it is.
Yeah.
He's just not talking.
Chris says, I love how you see both sides of being a hero in Watchmen. And right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, you have to ask yourself, are these heroes even? I think Regina King's character is. She seems like a good family person, right?
Yeah.
But Tim Blake Nelson's character might be like, we might have to kill or hurt or maim or whatever to find out, the answers because the end, which let's not spoil the end yet.
I won't. Yeah.
That's probably as much as we'll dive into with spoilers. But going forward, they've got a mystery to solve, and they've also got people who they've got to fight.
That guy that the old guy, he was like, so when is the store opening up? And she was like, soon. And he was like, do you think I can lift 200 pounds? And I was like, creepy.
Yeah, yeah,
creepy.
Did you know about the squids when they were raining? Did you know what that was?
Mm-mm.
It's got to do with the book. So
okay.
Yeah.
Did Manhattan do something?
Was it Manhattan? I don't know if it was Dr. Manhattan. I'd have to look back. I think it was more of a consequence of like how they had messed up the world in a way. Like, like how they like nuclear war and different. I don't remember exactly, but it was something to do with that with the book. Chris says the good can be bad or bad could actually be good. You're right. Yeah. So there's a new episode tonight, I believe, right? It's Sunday night. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm excited.
8 or 9, I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. And then Silicon Valley, the last season. I'm sad.
I'm very sad.
Did you see the commercial? Have you seen a trailer for Zombieland Double Tap yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen where the guy who's in that is in? Oh, he's so good in that.
Yeah.
Zombieland Double Tap. We're not going to do a big review of it because you haven't seen it or anything. But I will say I don't know that I liked it as good as the first movie. But there was nothing that I didn't like about this movie.
Okay.
Rosario Dawson is in it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Refrigerator.
Nah, she looked good.
Refrigerators look good
no.
too. Yeah, they can look nice.
Really? When did you see a refrigerator that you were like, I can't?
Well,
do it.
not like that.
Can you do that? Can you give me like a? Yeah, there you go. I'll just patch that in to the one that I.
All right.
Just butchered.
Yeah. Okay. Like you're joking.
All right. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited about Watchmen tonight.
Yeah, me too.
I do want to see how that with the race with the
the massacre.
The massacre. Let's call it that. That's a good way to call it. With the massacre, like how that will tie in more.
Yeah.
I have suspicions. Sure you do too.
Man, that little boy that when she was Regina King was teaching him how to bake, and he was like, "Oh, did you buy your store with the reparations?" I wanted to. Woo!
Yeah.
I wanted to knock him out.
Was that her dad? Was that guy's dad that later on she did go and knock out, or is that somebody else? Is that kid's dad?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm wondering if it was.
I hope so.
She showed up, was like, bam!
Yeah. I hope it was.
Like, that's for your son.
Right.
That's taught at home.
Right.
All right. Well, definitely the Watchmen did not disappoint me in any way because I was like, oh no, am I gonna love this? Because I really do.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
So,
but again,
stuff.
poor cows.
All right. So normally what we would do is a nerd update, and you would give me like, the special song. But now we're going to do a nerd upfake.
Okay.
So give me the special.
All right. Nerd upfake.
There we go. Yeah, I liked it because you
sounded
sounded like you were about to do it, but then you faked me out.
Yeah.
Like like a basketball, like a head nod up fake.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I like it. All right, the reason that it's called the nerd up fake this week is because there's been several stories that even mostly Cameo, but even us gets, tempted into sharing in our excitement or the possibilities, as you said. But I think that these are all turned out to be or are all fake news at this point.
Yeah.
So, but, for the sake of a good conversation, let's talk about them.
All
right. So, we'll start with Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
WB, Warner Brothers, want Michael Keaton to return for a Batman Beyond movie. Now, the reason that I say fake news was just because of where it came from. Like every time I see these stories posted, I look at the whoever it came from, and if it's not somebody like I really trust, then I'm like, like this is just clickbait,
Right?
Because everybody, I'm sure, me, you, wants to see this movie happen, and it could happen. It could.
Yeah.
This isn't crazy to think that Michael Keaton would come back and that they would do a Batman Beyond because they're doing like, standalone movies and stuff like that. Now, what were you saying about that? There had been rumors that Robert Pattinson, the Batman movie could actually be a Batman Beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a theory going around, which is not true. There's no way that this would be true. Is that basically Michael Keaton's Batman, who's never been seen on set for the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman. But, that could always be patched in later. But they were saying that Michael Keaton's Batman is actually going to be passing the torch to Robert Pattinson, who, if you've seen the cartoon or read the comics, Terry McGinnis is the new Batman in Batman Beyond.
Right.
Another reason why I posted it was because the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is going to be hitting in a couple of months, they are going to have. They're basically Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be a part of Infinite on Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, along with why they're doing this. But Halle Berry's Catwoman, she's supposedly going to be mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have heard that Michael Keaton's Batman was going to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Or he's in like a poster or something.
A newspaper that him and Selena Kyle got married. And yeah.
Right. So that's cool. Here's the other thing, though. Like, let's kind of pivot for just a second. So the actual Batman movie, there were some casting news that was real.
Yeah.
So let's mention those real quick. Paul Dano, or is it Dano?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But he's the Riddler, and we'll pop up a picture on the edited. I actually like that because I get a creepy vibe from him anyway in his movies.
Well, after that movie with him and Hugh Jackman, where he takes their kids, I think he's like either, I don't know if he's a molester, a child molester, or he just kidnaps kids and kills them. I don't know. But
yes.
I forgot the name of the movie.
Yes, I know which movie you're talking about.
But
I saw that. That was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
And he freaked me out.
Yeah, he's creepy. So he could make like a good Riddler. I really think so. That does mean that Jonah Hill is out. Of course, we didn't know if he was going to be playing Riddler necessarily, but he did pass.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. Zoe Kravitz, though, as Catwoman. And interesting story. I don't know if you saw this or not, but she said she was wanting to...
Prisoners. That's what the
Prisoners.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. She wanted to audition for Catwoman in The Dark Knight. And they were like, no, we're not going that way. So interesting that now she's going to get that chance again. And she auditioned and got it.
Yeah, and cool thing is too is that I think that they're paying homage to Eartha Kitt, Catwoman. So, and plus, I think Zoe Kravitz looks like a cat, anyways. So I think this is perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Especially
I like
go if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the thumbnail that's posted to the story on our Facebook page.
Right. The Rock. This is real news so far.
Yeah.
We'll get back to some faker news here in a second. The Rock will be Black Adam. They
Yeah.
finally, like, he's been talking about this forever.
Yeah, and he went to Instagram,
Which you shouldn't talk about things till it's actually happening,
Right.
Or else usually it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've remembered, like, we've been like, oh, we're getting an interview with so and so, and then like, yeah, it never happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which I'm kind of because going back, I was going to be interviewing Garciela. I can't remember how to say it, but she played Fancy on the Jamie Foxx show. And they called me during one of our podcasts and was like, "Hey, are you still up for interviewing Fancy? I'm gonna call her Fancy."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, heck yes!" And this is right before SpiderMan: Homecoming came out because she played Liz's mother,
Right.
and Vulture's wife. And so, the day comes when we're about to do the interview, and the phone gets disconnected. So I'm like, oh crap. So I got an emergency number that I call, if anything was to get, disconnected. They never picked up.
Oh,
so
no.
that was boo-boo. And then Finn Jones from Iron Fist was going to interview him, but that fell through. It's
a good one of the good times that happened was back in the day. We set up an interview with Jenny McCarthy, and because I found out when I was a producer, one of the easiest ways to get interviews with celebrities is the ones who write books, because the book companies are just dying for somebody to talk about it.
Yeah.
So if you go and you find out what books are coming out, you can call the publishing company, and they'll usually set up an interview for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so a little producing tip for free.
Yeah.
But so we got Jenny McCarthy, right? So you know how they always ask for like a backup number?
Yeah.
I gave them my cell phone number. So assuming they're going to call the hotline first, which is a hotline is a number at the radio station that only people who work there, or it's a special number that if the hotline ringing, it's either like an interview or your boss calling because you messed something up, or something like that. So my cell phone rings and I'm like, hello, and she's like, hi, this is Jenny, and I'm like, Jenny McCarthy just dialed my cell phone. I can die happy now,
Right?
But it was from a block number, so
No.
I know it wasn't cool. Like I called her back and was like, hey, what's up, Jenny? But that was that was a big deal for me, because younger me would have been like, that's amazing.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, Jenny. But I didn't figure she was going to call my cell phone. What I'm saying? Christian Cox, he says, what up, people? Just got here. What did I miss?
No, what did I miss?
We spoiled the Watchmen episode 1. That's what we did so far. And right now we're going through some fake news stories that we've been tricked by.
Well, we'll kind of sprinkle it in, fake and real.
Yeah. So let's go back to a nerd up fake. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. So here's one that's been making the rounds that's been pissing me off, because it's something that I said should happen, and hopefully it does happen, but I don't think it's going to. I just don't know anytime soon. But the Netflix Marvel shows, like every week I see a different one. Punisher is going to join the MCU, which I could see him.
Yeah.
Jon Bernthal joining the MCU, like in the movies, because he's a movie star and a TV star.
Yeah. Well, and the kind of cool thing too is,
oh yeah,
they're calling me. Is I just lost my train of thought. The cool thing that if what's his name?
Jon Bernthal.
Yeah, Jon Bernthal comes in. It would be awesome to see a Punisher and Deadpool team up.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
I would love to see that. I could really care less if he was like join the Avengers. Nah,
yeah,
I'm good.
So Luke Cage.
I
don't know if I'd see him in the MCU. Do you? Like in the movies?
I could see him before Punisher.
I know. I see Punisher before him for sure.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
I mean, I like Luke, the guy who plays Luke Cage, but I just think Jon Bernthal's more of a movie star, more.
Oh, you just talking about like that?
Yeah, just seeing him in the movies.
Oh, okay. Well, then if you're talking about that, then yeah. But like as a character.
Oh, do you think we'll see Luke Cage in the? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I would see. Yeah, like if we're talking about characters, yeah, definitely Luke Cage before I would see.
But you mean
Punisher?
Punisher, you could see. Well, the other thing that they were talking about was Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have heard that Charlie Cox might show up in a SpiderMan movie, but I don't know. I don't know if that was fake news or not.
It probably was.
Nerd up fake.
It probably was.
But I think that that's all fake. But I could see that. I could see some of those people. Jessica Jones, they said that was another one.
Yeah.
Again, she's another one that has also been in movies.
Right.
So,
not really like any big movies though. Kristen Ritter.
No, not necessarily, but she's been in stuff.
Yeah.
Christian Cox said, because I told him we were spoiling Watchmen, thank God I wasn't here since I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. We were saying to everybody we were spoiling it, but we didn't spoil it. But
too much. Yeah.
You need to watch it because episode 2 comes on tonight.
Yeah.
So I think that's covering everybody from the Netflix. Now, what I think is more likely is we're going to see these Netflix shows rolled over into the Disney streaming at some point.
Yeah, if not, I know Hulu is acquiring some Marvel shows, animated shows.
Which I guess they just canceled, was it Cloak and Dagger?
Oh, they did?
Yeah, after season 2. And I've seen some people that were mad because I don't think it really finished.
It didn't.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch season 2?
Yes.
See, I haven't seen since season 1.
And they so they in season 2 towards the end of the season, they started to get a hang on their powers. Mm-hmm. So it's just like,
yeah. Well, maybe it'll get moved over.
I hope, man.
Because it was on Epics or something, but also it was on Hulu.
No, it was on Freeform.
Oh yeah, the same one that Grownish is on.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's so many ish shows now.
Yeah. Mixed Dish is pretty funny.
I've seen the first episode. What did you think?
I love it, dude.
Right on. Okay, let's get to the last nerd upfake then. All right.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. And in this one, I also saw, we'll take it a step further, to face off against the Hawk. So to me, that's almost like an Old Man Logan type of scenario, right?
That would be kind of cool.
That would be amazingly cool.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening.
No.
I don't see it
Hugh Jackman is done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
He is
now that would be amazing, though. I mean, I would love this idea.
Yeah. I'm going to see how old Hugh Jackman is. Ain't he like 60 almost?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's getting up there for sure. And but I mean, that's the thing. He could play Old Man Logan again.
Yeah.
Older Man Logan even.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now we're kind of on the subject. I don't see Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye though. If we get an Old Man Logan movie, did you see all that business?
Oh, he's 51. Sorry.
The Jeremy Renner stuff. Did you see all that?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, I guess look it up because I don't want to say what he did if it was wrong, but apparently there was some domestic issues going on, and so there's been some talk that he might be replaced as Hawkeye. So, yeah. Mr. TMZ, where are you? How did you miss this?
I don't know. Sometimes I live under a rock.
You need to look that up. But so hopefully, I hope it. I dig Jeremy Renner. Like, he's in a lot of stuff I like.
But you know what I did hear?
What?
That Joker is the most or it made the most money than any R-rated film in history.
That's crazy. Now, and probably what's going to happen, I've heard that there's going to be a sequel. Mm-hmm. They've been talking about that. That might be a nerd up fake. But I believe it. I believe they will make one. But I read it might be about another villain.
And I got to give it up to you. Because you were right about...
maybe.
Todd Phillips did say that this possibly was not the real Joker.
Yes. And that... that it could all be in his head, that he left it a little bit vague in that area. Or that, and I don't like this one as much, the Gotham thing, where he's just the what the blueprint for the Joker. I don't dig that one unless it's the 3 Jokers theory, where he's the first Joker, the second Joker would be like Heath Ledger, and the third one would be Jared Leto, I guess. But like the comic books, because I think we're still getting that comic book at some point with the 3 Jokers where they're all at the same time somehow. So, I don't know, because if there's another Joker movie, I don't know. I kind of like it just being the one offshoot on its own, all that. But
yeah.
So let's go. Let's just circle back real quick to Hugh Jackman versus the Hulk. We think that that's probably fake news as well. So you don't think we're going to get another Wolverine probably for a long time? And it'll probably be a younger Wolverine.
Yeah. If anything, honestly, truthfully, I hope we get the X-23 version. Just because. But
you don't want to see Harry Potter as...
No.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That might also be a nerd up fake, but
yeah,
that he would be one. He's a little dude, I guess.
Yeah, I mean he is small. I think he's
not
about my
squatty,
height.
like he's not like wide.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch you don't watch wrestling, do you?
No.
There's this guy and he doesn't look like Wolverine, but he does look like an old character from he looks like a He-Man action figure on there. I'll have to show you a picture of him later. His name is like Otis. Heavy Machinery is the. Let me see if I can pull it up for you real quick.
All right, real quick. I'm going to say what when we were talking about Hugh Jackman coming back.
Tell me that dude doesn't look like who's one of the X-Men that's like all.
Oh, the Blob.
Yeah, no, the one that was in the movie, the last Deadpool movie, but he was huge. Like he was huge in the movie.
Juggernaut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like he looks like he could play Juggernaut.
Yeah. But Chris said that it won't happen. Hugh Jackman would come back for Deadpool before Hulk. Oh, most definitely.
Definitely. I could see that. And like I say, I mean, that'd be amazing if we could see like the Old Man Logan like it was the book.
Yeah. I do kind of feel that with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's like friendship, honestly and truthfully, I think that Hugh Jackman would think about it.
You know, it'd be awesome though. That would be cool. What if you got this? What if Hugh Jackman as Wolverine versus the Hulk animated? He did the voice.
No.
You wouldn't like that?
I would like it, but no, I don't want it.
No. I think it'd be awesome.
I mean, it might be, but I don't want it.
Still make it rated R.
I mean, like I said, I'd watch it, but I don't want that.
Okay. You'd want the live action?
Yeah.
Oh, or you don't want Hugh Jackman returning at all?
No, I would love Hugh Jackman to return.
Are you ready to move on past the Hugh Jackman
No.
era?
I'll move on after I get a Deadpool Wolverine.
Team up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, well, last thing, we're done with the nerd updates and the upfakes and all of it, so separate what's true and what's not true according to your own judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've said, most of them we don't think are going to happen, but we would love for it to see it happen. Star Wars, the trailer just dropped. I have not been able to watch it yet. I will probably after we get done with this. You saw it?
Yeah, man.
Was there anything that raised the hairs on the back of your neck? Or
C-3PO, man.
Does he have red eyes?
I can't remember, but it's sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And I wouldn't say like sad, like he dies sad in the trailer, but it's sad because, they're saying, oh, this is the end of the story, but the saga doesn't die, or however they, the tagline is. But yeah, it's just like, we've had 9 movies and it's just like, this is it.
Is it though?
No, of course not. But,
but supposedly for this storyline, they're going to wrap it on up.
Yeah.
The the Jedis, the Skywalker
saga,
basically.
Yeah. I gotta say what's up to Patrick, my old co-worker. What's up, bro?
What's up? Chris said he just tagged you in a story where they said they're keeping Jeremy Renner. So
okay,
that's cool. Back to Star Wars. Tickets are on sale now. When does it come out? Like by around Christmas time?
I think Christmas. Yeah.
Because they didn't have one around Christmas time last year, did they?
No, they did not.
And that was like, I was like, oh, because that had become like my tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's going to be at Christmas time again. Here's what I'm more excited about right now. Now, I didn't watch the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandalorian.
Oh, man. Just a couple weeks, right? We got next week. 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
And what I loved about it, like the show looks like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it may have been because they scrapped the Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
And they were probably like, well, let's kind of keep some things. But I can't wait to see this. It looked, like I said, it looks like, because, you've got the spinoffs, but they've all been animated, it seems like. I can't think of any live action shows that, I can't think of any. Can you?
No. But I'm excited too, because not only they're doing the Mandalorian, they're also doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi, storyline too. So basically it's 2 weeks from this Tuesday, I think. Yeah. Right? Because
when they release the,
it's going to be on a Tuesday. So
when they put out the Disney streaming, all these things that they said were going to be available, are they all going to be available?
Well,
or
obviously Mandalorian, I don't know if they're the whole season, or they're going to do an episode a week.
Right.
But be on the lookout for the Gargoyles, DuckTales, basically any Marvel Disney show is, I don't know how many are going to be on there right at that moment, but the old DuckTales, the old Rescue Rangers.
Oh, nice.
Chippendale, all of those.
The Chippendale.
No, not that.
Oh, sorry.
The actual Chip and Dale chipmunks.
Okay. But no, what about the other slate of Marvel shows like WandaVision?
WandaVision, I think, starts
later.
next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. So not all of it's in the can ready to go.
No, Mandalorian is.
Okay.
I think they're going to do DC, like how they do DC Universe. They're going to do, fall is going to be this. Spring is going to be this. Winter is going to be this. Summer is going to be this. All that.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So, yeah, I can't wait, man.
I can't wait for Star Wars and Mandalorian. Patrick says the Star Wars movie, December 20th, 2019.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. One of the other, I wish I hadn't skipped past this. Like another fake news thing that possibly I've heard about. I'll bring it up real quick. Like the Spider-Verse with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire,
and Andrew Garfield.
Just quick yes or no. Do you think that you'll ever get that?
It would be a long time.
Do you think you want
that? I know
that?
Sony is in the talks about it, but
would I
like it? Yeah. I like Spider-Man.
Yeah, but do you really need to see those guys
I really
again?
See it? No, I don't.
But do you think it would be cool?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit just to get you worked up, but
no, dude,
But I'm not as big a Spider-Man fan as you are, to be honest. So I didn't love Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Is it Garfield? Yeah.
That's a wrap, guys.
Okay, let's play this. Let's go play the clip where Tobey Maguire's dancing in Spider-Man 3, and you tell me you loved it.
Spider-Man 3 was a different story.
Yeah.
Okay?
Clap.
Spider-Man 1 and 2
it was horrible.
Was amazing.
Clap.
Those two outshined 3, okay? So you can't even think about that.
Clap. But no, I actually think it'd be kind of cool to see the Spider-Verse deal.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would like to see a live action. Like, I would like to see Shamik Moore, is that his name? Who played the voice of Miles Morales? Mm-hmm. I would love to see him, come as Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Will it happen? Probably not, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing about all this fake news
is
they get it's stuff that you're like, yeah, take all my money,
right?
And it okay, so if they already know that they're gonna get whoever's putting this out there is gonna get 1 billion clicks because it's clickbait, basically, then why don't the people in charge look at that and say, well, that's our research right there of what the people want, what they want to spend their money on.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is honestly and truthfully, the whole Tom Holland leaving MCU was all a sham.
Yeah.
It was all a sham. I mean, they wanted to see what it would be like, what the uproar was, because let's say that it was true. Everybody that $1 billion that it made, is a sign that people will go see Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah, for sure.
So with them doing that, like, oh, hey, you know, Tom Holland's leaving, guys.
Yeah.
That put everybody in an uproar.
Right.
So they're okay.
But it's weird because it's not like they did it like on the eve of a release that they were unsure people would go watch. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that they're like, maybe like people were like, oh, we got to go see it because this will be the last time we see Tom Holland as Spider-Man in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
The timing of it like would have made sense then to me as a sham. Like, I'm not sure what they gained from it other than just a lot more talk, which it's like putting out like a big story in the off season, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, I mean, it kind of was.
Show me the movie.
Because it kind of was after, what was it? Like a month after, not a month.
Oh, yeah.
It was a couple months after Endgame.
Yeah.
Or no, not after Endgame. After Far From Home.
Yeah.
And it was just like, there's no.
Maybe spark some DVD sales or some digital downloads or all of that. Yeah. Okay. Because see, you got to show me the money on a conspiracy, and I'll totally believe it.
Oh yeah,
because that's where it all comes from. Is
because
the money.
I mean, again, with as a whole, they made over I think almost $2.5 billion on purchases, on merch and the movie to combine. So it's just like this is a huge cash cow.
Yeah,
there's no way that Sony is going to turn that down, because I tell you what, there's a lot of people that said they would not watch Spider-Man, which is a lie. I was not one of those people, because I know for a fact I'm going to see any Spider-Man movie, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
So with people, Sony doesn't want to, lose out on any money. I mean, that could be $500,000 right there that they lost out on. So nobody wants to lose money.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
So,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to an end, Cameo.
All right.
Like I said, a few things I'm looking forward to. Terminator. I want to see that movie.
This weekend?
I think it's like,
or a couple weekends.
Well, it's November. It's the 1st of November, so like that's November 1st. But I thought it was like 6th. But I think that would have made it wouldn't. I think it might be this weekend, actually. So, some people went and saw it at an Alamo Draft House. I saw like this promo for it.
We need to get an Alamo Draft House.
Yeah. Well, they thought they were going to see Terminator 2 with an exclusive, like, extended look at this new Terminator.
Uh-huh.
Turns out it was the whole movie. They got to see like the whole movie. They were treated to it. I was like, oh,
that's
man.
cool.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, I'm going to try to go see Dr. Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Halloween is coming up Thursday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night, I believe, Nugget's going to return to the show, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite like Halloween movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like Michael Myers Halloween, or
like no, not necessarily. Just
okay.
Yeah, because last time was all Rob Zombie films.
Uh-huh.
This will open up the whole catalog here and kind of just talk about what our favorites are.
Did you do what I wanted you to do? Your top 31 Halloween movies?
No.
Or scary movies, horror movies?
We didn't. We're not going to do 31 because I think that would take multiple
You
shows.
were supposed to be doing it
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you didn't have to do it every day. You could do.
I would have had to have done it every day.
No. Yeah, you just did it like one. You could have had. Could have done it in like 3 weeks.
You're kind of wasting my time right now. Like I didn't have time to do that. Like now you're like completely wasting.
You know what? Drop kick you in your throat.
Cameo, I love you. I love everybody watching, listening. We thank you. Subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook.
Hit the like.
We're on Spotify. All kinds of different places. I think we just got disconnected too. Yep. Which good time to get disconnected from our Facebook Live. Right. But anyway, thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
The edited version will go up in a day or so on the places that you can check it out. If you missed part of the show, watch it, rewatch it, listen to it, tell everybody about it.
Yeah, let us know what you like
about it.
Yeah.
All right, Cameo.
Keep it nerdy and pick that green gold.
Ew. Have a good one.
See ya.